Welcome. My speaker today is Paul Kreiter, who is a talent manager and speaking coach, who's going to be speaking with us about presentation skills and what they can teach us about dating. Tell us a little bit about you and your work, Paul.
Sure, it's great to be here. Thank you for having me. So my work is twofold. For the last 10 years, I've been a talent agent. I work for a speakers bureau called American Program Bureau. And what we do is we book talent, we book speakers for organizations all over the country when they want someone to speak on a particular topic, to inspire audiences, educate audiences, to raise awareness about certain things. And in 5 years into the 10 years that I've been doing that work, I realized that I had an opportunity not just to book talent and book speakers, but also to mentor people who wanted to get a stronger foundation for their speaking skills so that maybe one day they could too be a speaker who would go around the country, sometimes around the world, and speak about their story, about their experiences. So that's what I do.
Wonderful. Thank you. As someone who, provides talent management and speaking coaching, what are some basic skills that you find helpful that some people kind of maybe lack in terms of their dating skills?
Sure. So I had a chance to think about the parallels between the two for a few days now in preparation for our conversation. And I think one of the common points between presenting or performing and dating is authenticity. You
Yeah.
have to be authentic in who you are and how you feel about yourself
Yeah.
so that you can come across as someone who is believable. You don't want to fool anybody.
Yeah.
You also want to project confidence, not too much confidence as to make someone think that you are brash or hard to be around, because that doesn't help with dating life, I would imagine. But for someone that comes across as engaging,
Yeah.
I want to listen to this person.
Yeah.
That is one of the common points between those two worlds that I see pretty easily.
Yeah. Yeah. I was thinking, on a first date, first impressions are such an important piece of them. What are some tips that you might have in dating that might help people on a first date or make a good first impression?
Sure. First, I would say dress for the role, right?
Mhm.
Show up prepared in what you're wearing first, how you present yourself. You don't want to come off as sloppy or lazy. If the goal for dating is to attract somebody and create a relationship, you probably want to start by taking care of yourself and what your body looks like. Doesn't mean that you have to be thin and muscular and chiseled chin and the perfect hair. It means try, put
Mhm.
your best foot forwards, and that's one of the most important things. Even before you say anything, that first impression is, oh, this person dressed nice.
Right.
Thank you for trying.
I was
Even
gonna say,
that.
it doesn't have to be trying to dress nice, doesn't have to be inauthentic to your way of looking nice. It should be authentic to you. And at the same time, there's a way of putting yourself together that is both authentic to you and looking nice.
I would add to that along with looking nice, it's also important to take care of your body, shower,
Yeah.
take care of your hygiene, brush your teeth. I know these things seem obvious, but sometimes we forget that the little things are really important. Not that it wouldn't be the first thing in my mind to say, oh, I'm going to go meet someone maybe for the first time and not shower or brush my teeth or look in the mirror or make sure that everything looks like it's in place. But remember to do those things. Put on deodorant. If you use deodorant and you're concerned about how you might come across odorly speaking, then take care of that.
Yeah.
That's part of putting your best foot forwards, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. What just on camera, like in a profile picture on a dating app, how do you kind of put your best foot forward there in terms of looking your best, making your best first impression, whether it's on camera or even in your profile dating app? How can you present yourself meaningfully just in writing too?
Sure. I think it goes back to that common point between what it means to be a presenter or a performer and what it means to be putting yourself out there on a date is be honest, be sincere, use some humor, right? Engage somebody with a great story or a great little anecdote about who you are, even if it makes you look kind of funny or silly or maybe a little embarrassing. That sort of thing goes a long way in terms of helping you stand out.
Yeah, I would say I've known you for a while, and that's one, like, I feel like you've always been able to just like, you have this charisma where you've always been able to make people laugh. And I see that, like, just in the way you present yourself, you're like, you enjoy laughing, and it's like really nice to see you kind of put that out there when you present yourself too.
Well, thank you. It's always nice to have an audience that receives you too.
Yeah.
And it's hard work for a speaker or a performer, but also for someone who is putting themselves out there to remember that it really isn't about you. It's not about how you feel about how you're coming across. I felt that it went well. I felt like I nailed it. It needs to be about what the audience feels. And in this case, it's not an audience of 500 people or 1,000 people. You're not on a stage in an auditorium. The audience is the person that is on the date with you.
Yeah.
And it has to be about engaging that person, making them feel like they're having a good time. I'm glad I did this. I'm glad I'm here because I could have done something else. But I decided to come here. I have my ticket. I have my playbill, right? I have my seat. Now, you don't have to be a clown for that person. You don't have to be a jester. Right. You don't have to be a magician or a comedian. But it's about the person in front of you. Don't talk about yourself too much. Yeah. Right? Don't make it about you. Make it about them. And that was actually one of the things that, in terms of we live and how you would approach meeting someone for the first time or engaging with someone the first time. I was thinking about how to do this in a safe, friendly way. We have so much access to people's information because of social media and Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. Ideally, the person that you'll be meeting on a date is someone that might be a friend of yours in one of these social media projects or apps or something that you have, or they might be a friend of a friend. It's a good way without intruding on their privacy, because you don't want to do that either. You don't want to come across as creepy or unnerving. But if you have common things in your lives that you share, you both kayak, you both like movies, you both eat pasta whenever you can, right? These are things that you can do your little homework and know those things. People put their profiles out there in the world so that people will look at them and people will say, oh, that video was funny. Oh, what a nice haircut. Oh, good job for that achievement. Or I'm so sorry about your loss. People don't do that not to be discovered. They do that so that someone will, come across who they are online, who they are out there. And in a dating world where social media is pretty much everything and everyone has a phone and everyone's looking in their phone at every single second, why not use that in a smart, safe, and ethical way to engage the person in front of you? Do your homework. You would know what this person's the common variables are between you just by engaging in their profile a little bit.
Right. Like you said, right. Yeah. I mean, right. They're going to have a picture of themselves kayaking or whatever, right?
Sure. And if you happen to be a cat person or a dog person, you can easily say, oh, I noticed you have a husky. It's one of my favorite dogs. You know, I went to Northern Illinois. They're the Huskies. I went to NAU, Northeastern Illinois, the Huskies. And it's a good way of just breaking some ice and finding some commonality.
Yeah, yeah. What other tips, maybe final tips, do you have for people in terms of their profile or maybe first dates?
So I wrote down a few things that I think are applicable for both preparing to deliver a speech or to communicate effectively on a stage, and also for a dating life. So I think we talked about some of these, but I think it's good to go over them again. So preparation. Even if you're having your first date like this, and with the coronavirus and our new realities, this might be the first step with a lot of people.
Yes.
So even in this role, dress appropriately, you know, like put on a collar shirt. Trust me, I'm wearing pants, right? Like not just pants, and not just pants with, not just any kind of pants, like not sweat pants. I'm wearing khakis. I am wearing shoes that go with the outfit, or at least my wife might tell me differently, but I think they go with the outfit, right? So dress appropriately. Take care of your body. Take care of your face. Take care of your hair. Present yourself in the best way possible. Also, as we mentioned, in terms of preparation, just do some homework on who you're going to be meeting. You should know who this person is a little bit, just a little. Get their name right, and how to pronounce their name, how to pronounce their last name. These things go a long way. Remember those details. It's important. Be an expert in confidence for yourself. Be an expert on who you are and your level of confidence. Even if your expert level is, it is here and some might be up here. For you, if this is expert, then hit it, right? Yeah. Put your best foot forwards, command appropriately sort of who you are, and come across the way that you want to come across. Take control of confidence. That's really important. If you think about a performer who takes a stage, no one wants to be in front of someone who is mousy or quiet. I can't understand what you're saying. You're not enunciating. Frankly, you're just reading the PowerPoint. We don't want to read the PowerPoint on a date. Okay. Yeah. We don't want that. You want to come across as engaging, purposefully engaging. Your body says a lot, your gestures say a lot. So that's all about confidence. That's all about putting out a version of yourself that is going to make that person across the table from you or on the other side of the camera feel like you're good with yourself, because that makes you a better partner, a better communicator, better.
Confidence is sexy, right? It's what people to.
I mean, sure. I mean, you would know that from your end, right? And if that's what I can't say that I'm an expert on what women want at all, but certainly be yourself. How could anyone want you not to be yourself, right? As long as yourself isn't rude and this is what we talked about also for a performer. Make it about your audience. Yeah. Make it about the person that is in front of you. Yeah. Don't talk about yourself too much. Find ways to engage your date. Use funny stories, embarrassing stories, appropriate jokes, common interests, right? That has to go back with doing your homework. And like you said, sexy and appealing. Leave your date wanting more of you, more of your company. Like, you got a little taste today. Would you like more? Yeah. Then let's go do this again. If that worked, then why not?
Yeah. Well, and it's a good point, right? Whether somebody's a comedian or something else, right? They want more of you when, you really exude that.
Absolutely. And I think one of the things that I've been trying to help the people that I'm coaching and the talent that I work with in this environment, in a virtual environment, it's so awful for developing personal relationships. Yeah. This is not how we're supposed to do it.
Yeah.
Not. It's weird. This new normal is not normal. It's certainly not new anymore. I mean, going on 6 months. Um, it's not normal. People need to be around people, and you need to engage with people. And if you're going to do it, if you're going to go on a date, you should do it safely, obviously, in this time. And it's just be safe about what you're doing before you get there. And if you have to do it this way, you have to remember that this guy right here, okay, that is your date.
Yeah.
That's it. That's where you make your eye contact.
Yeah.
That's where you engage. I very much, Aviva, want to look you in the eyes, but you're down here, right? This is the camera, and you're down here, and it's annoying, and it feels disingenuous not to look at you when I'm talking to you, but this is me looking at you.
I was going to say, and from my perspective, you are looking exactly into my eyes. So
it's not easy to do.
Yeah.
And it takes practice.
Yeah.
And
good
if
point.
this is how you're going to do it, and for the dating world, and not just for dating, for interviewing, right? Which is, a date is an interview, right? You got to do this, and you can't be looking, or here, and now I'm looking at your eyes, now I'm not. It has to be this, because this is what people want to see, and everything's going to be recorded and everything's going to be posted. So do this. Now, there's a challenge with that. Like me, I wear glasses. I don't wear contacts. You're going to see glare of my computer screen in my glasses, which is annoying because I have nice eyes, which is part of my attraction. I think that's one of the reasons why I'm married now, right? It's because of, and look, see what I did here, right?
Wow.
But there are features that will be hard to accentuate in this environment. But the one thing you have to do is continue to make eye contact, even if you are making it with the camera. And if it's hard for you to talk to a camera, then put a picture up. Maybe you put a picture of someone you're comfortable talking to above the camera,
right,
so that you come across as engaging the person on the other end. You'll meet that person, hopefully.
Yeah.
So, but start here.
That's great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for talking with us today and giving us these wonderful tips. Where can people who are interested in finding out more about you and about your work, where can they find you?
Sure. So I had mentioned earlier that for 10 years now, I've been in the talent management business. The company that I work for, which is a great company that everyone should check out, the people that we represent, is called American Program Bureau. And that website is www.apb, American Program Bureau, APB, speakers, plural.com. 5 years into that, I started doing the speaking coaching, and I put up a website about 5 years ago called myspeakingcoach.com. And it's separate from what I do as a talent manager. There, I have the tips and the secrets to powerful presentations and commanding the stage and commanding your audience. That's separate but equal from what I do for the talent management stuff. And that's myspeakingcoach.com.
Great. Thank you so much.
Sure. Thank you.